What's up, everybody? This is Brian back with another deck profile. What do I got for you right now? Mekk-knights. Now, I told you when the deck was done that it would, I'd debut it. Here it is. I'm in the process of building an insect deck, just to prove a point to friends, but, let's get into it. First off, we have Mekk-knight Red Moon. Now, what he does is he blows up monsters. My highest suggestion, because of how the Mekk-knights play, when your opponent controls two or more cards in the same column, you can special them. As far as I'm concerned, the deck doesn't run enough level 4 lowers, but that's just me. Like I said, Red Moon, he blows up monsters. You banish a Mekk-knight to blow him up. You're going to do a lot of banishing in this deck, so be prepared to run Pot of Acquittednesses. Next up, we have Mekk-knight Yellow Star. My highest suggestion too is run 3 of each of the Mekk-knights. Yellow Star, you banish a Mekk-knight to blow up a spell or trap. Purple Nightfall. I only have 2 of Purple Nightfall and Blue Sky, but like I said, my highest suggestion, run 3 of all the Mekk-knights. Purple Nightfall, what he does is allows you to the end of the turn banish, I believe, another Mekk-knight, and he adds from deck to hand a Mekk-knight with a different name. So he's pretty cool. He allows you to add. But it's only until the end phase of the banishment for your monster. Mekk-knight Blue Sky. I believe he's better than Purple Nightfall. He does the same thing, except he, if he's a normal summoner special from the hand, you can add Mekk-knight monsters with different names from your deck to hand equal to the number of your opponent's cards in this card's column. Pretty much, if your opponent has like 3 cards in the same column as Blue Sky, you get 3 Mekk-knight monsters. Gives you advantage in your hand. But Purple Nightfall, okay, you can target a Mekk-knight you control, banish it until the standby phase of your next turn. Then you can add. That is Purple Nightfall. But I believe Blue Sky, like I said, has a better effect, adding effect than Purple Nightfall. Indigo Eclipse. He just moves another Mekk-knight to a different monster zone. So, like, say someone blows up your spell and trap, like your Mirror Force, and you really need one of your Mekk-knights on field, and you have him on field. You can just move that other Mekk-knight to a different zone. Green Horizon. What he does is, when an attack is declared involving this card and an opponent's monster in this card's column, you can target a Mekk-knight in your grave and add it to hand. So essentially, he adds your Mekk-knights back to your hand. Mekk-knight Orange Sunset. What he does, he's got the highest defense of all the Mekk-knights. If an opponent's card in this card's column is destroyed by battle or leaves the field, you can special 1 Mekk-knight monster from your hand. So pretty much he's kind of like the Darkness Mantle of this deck, except he just spawns like he spams fucking Mekk-knights. Royal Legacy Stars. I was planning on running 3, but because of the steep price of the effect, 2's okay. What it does is all Mekk-knights gain 300 attack and defense, and once per turn you can discard a Mekk-knight monster or 1 World Legacy card and draw a card. You can banish 8 Mekk-knight monsters with different names from your grave and or face up from the field. Send your opponent's entire hand and extra deck to the grave. Pretty much, this deck is all about special summoning massively and destroying your opponent's extra deck. Because a lot of decks rely so much on their extra deck. Even though they've slowed it down a bit, this card can really help you out. But banishing 8, I think, is too much of a steep price. That's why I run it at 2. World Legacy Key. Now, each one of the spells and the other spells and traps negate something different. This negates traps, I believe. Yeah, negates traps. Also, when it's activated, you can target a banished Mekk-knight monsters or World Legacy cards added to your hand. So it's got like a recycling effect. World Legacy Whispers. This negates spells. You can also target a level 5 or higher monster on the field that gains 1,000 attack and defense until the end phase. Until the end of the turn. Pretty much, say you have Orange Sunset, which has the highest defense. It'll go up to 4,000. Secrets negates monster effects. What it does is you can also, you can target a level 5 monster or higher monster engrave and special it. So pretty much, you can special anything, any Mekk-knight that was destroyed. I didn't really plan on running this card, but seeing how it's like draw power for the deck, I figure why not. World Legacy Trap Globe. Shuffle into the deck 5 of your World Legacy cards with different names that are banished in the hand or grave and or face up on the field. To then draw 2 cards. Pretty much just gives you draw power. Like I said, this deck doesn't have enough level 4 lower monsters. I tried to stick with the theme as much as possible. Problem is, all the Mekk-knights are light, and these are some of the old psychic monsters that are Earth. Silent Psychic Wizard. When he's normal summon, you can target a psychic monster and banish it. Pretty much, he's kind of like a smaller version of Purple Nightfall. Serene Psychic Witch. She's not very strong, but if she's destroying sent to grave, you can banish a psychic monster with 2,000 or less attack from deck. During the next standby, if this card stays in grave, special the monster banished. Pretty much, you banish with the old psychic monsters and then special them back. Hushed Psychic Cleric. When you summon him, he switches to defense. Also, once per turn, you can send a card from your hand to grave and then target a psychic in your grave, banish it. If this card is sent from field to grave, target that monster, banished monster, and special it. So, and he's got a pretty good defense for a level 3. 2100 defense. Mind Over Matter. It's a counter trap card for psychic monsters. It may, if you don't have Mirror Forces and Deep Prisons, it may leave you vulnerable to a direct attack. If a monster would be normal summoned or special summoned, or a spell or trap is activated, you tribute a psychic monster, negate it, and destroy it. So if someone plays that Solemn Warning, or Judgment, or Strike, you negate it with this. That's another reason why you run the level 4 lowers. So instead of using your Mekk-knights, you use this instead for your smaller psychic monsters. I think this card for psychic monsters is way better than fucking Jar of Avarice. You target 3 psychic monsters in your grave, shuffle them into the deck, and draw 3. Very amazing. Psychic Reactor. This is the trap version of DD Warrior Lady. Why I say that is because if you control a psychic monster, face-up psychic monster, this turn, when it's a face-up psychic monster, you control battles on opponent's monster, or remove both monsters from play. Pretty much, you have your your opponent's monster, you can't get over. So you flip this and banish that fucker like a lead yoke. Mekk-knight, Spectrum Supreme. What he does is he can attack directly if this is the only card in its column. If this card in the extra monster zone has no monsters, it cannot be destroyed by card effects. Also, your opponent cannot target it with card effects. You can send one other card you control in this card's column to the grave. Special one Mekk-knight monster from the deck and fence. Pretty much, using this, you can spam Mekk-knights. Just some level 4s. Sword Breaker to level 6. Well, rank 6. I've also found a few cards that work well with this deck, or potentially. Destructron. You pay 1,000 life points to blow up a set spell or trap. So, being a monster, you don't have to worry about really wasting a lot. But do be careful because you have to pay 1,000 life points. Fantastic Stribord. He's like a giant Churnade for that I found. What he does is monsters tributed for this face-up tribute summon for the face-up tribute summon of this card is returned to the hand instead of going to grave. Once returned, you can discard a card, return all your opponent's cards in this card's column to the hand. Pretty much, they have those face-down mirror forces and shit, or the solemn strikes. You can just use this, discard a card, and giant Churnade him back to hand. There's also another card coming out, but it's a dragon type. It's Tiamound, the Steel Battalion Dragon. It's not out yet. I don't know what pack it's going to come in, but it is going to be coming out, I believe, soon. What it does is, when it's special summoned, in this card's column, it blows up all monsters your opponent controls in this card's column. Also, like 3 of their monster zones cannot be used. So that's just amazing for this deck, since it special summons out the ass. That's it for Mekk-knights. Hit like or subscribe. I will be updating with more duels and more decks. Alright, catch you on the flip side.